In this video, we are going to look at some pairs that I am also going to be paying attention to this coming week. This does not mean that I'm saying these are signals. These are not signals for you to enter buys or sells, but it's pairs out of the many pairs that anybody can trade that I think you should probably also pay attention to. So again, if you are new on this channel, please consider subscribing so that you do not miss future videos. Like this video, you'll probably learn one or two things in this video. If you don't, at least I've given you some entertainment on a Sunday. So just go ahead and like the video. For those that are looking for free Forex robots, indicators, books, and stuff like that, there are links in the description box below. Visit those links and see if you cannot find what you are looking for. Okay. Many people also ask me about the broker that I use. So in case you are looking at your charts and you are looking at my charts and the candlesticks are not looking the same, the broker that I use, their link is in the description box below. They are one of the best brokers in Africa and in the world. So go ahead and sign up with them. Okay, so let's get back to our video. This coming week is going to be interesting. I think things have been interesting in the last few days, last few weeks. Oh yeah, let me see where we are. We are actually on a weekly chart, and this is USD/JPY. You can see why I'm saying things have been interesting. For the dollar, you can see against Japanese yen, last couple of weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the dollar has just been dominating the yen for 6 weeks straight. Anyway, as you know, if you haven't watched how I trade, I love to trade from zone to zone. I basically look for areas where we might have supply and areas where we might have demand and that sort of thing. Some people say it's supported resistance, some people call it this, some people call it that, but anyway, I call it zone to zone. So I usually go higher time frames. Usually I don't look below 4-hour charts. So just to give you an idea of how I trade. So let's go ahead and do this. So the first pair that I think anybody should probably be interested in is EURUSD. One of the most fluid pairs in the Forex market, EURUSD. You can see why I'm saying that anybody should be interested in this pair these coming weeks or these coming days. We came down to touch a level that we previously touched around March 2020. Let's see. Okay, if we use this May 2020, so it's basically it's taken us around 2 years, to come back to touch the same level. So again, we are going to be looking for a decision. I always say we look for a decision at these levels. We don't just rush in because we touched a level that we touched 2 years ago, so we should just rush in and buy or rush in and sell. What we are going to be looking for is actually a decision out of this zone. So let's go down to the daily. So we want a decision in this zone. Let me, if you cannot see it, let me mark it with this color. So that's what we want. We want a decision in this area. We want a decision to be made in this area. What's the decision that we are going to be looking for? We want us to clearly show that we are tired of going down. We, at least on the weekly chart, now it's time what? We do something like that. Let's go back to the weekly. So we want to see that we are tired of just dropping and oozing. Now it's time for us to go back up. Or that we are still interested in going down to reach that next zone. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we are looking for. We are looking for decisions in these areas. We want the guys that have got the money to actually make the decision and show us clearly that we are going back up. If you want to know, in here we've got some 250 pips, and what we've seen here is we've come here and we've touched it, and we touched it again, and now we are on the daily. We are on the daily. We touched it, and we kind of went back up and come back to retest it. So my thinking at the moment, it's not a trading signal. My thinking at the moment is we should be looking towards coming this way. That is, if this momentum holds, but we are on a weekend, so I cannot exactly tell what's going to happen the next week. What we are going to look out for is a decision. So we are probably going to want to go back up because we've come and we've danced on this zone for a couple of days now. But it doesn't mean that you go all in with all your account. What we probably want to do is just place a small trade, and if it turns out that the trade is okay, then you can build on that. And then, for example, if you are targeting to buy with a standard lot, at first you probably just want to put in 0.20, and let's see, if it starts going our way, then you can go ahead and place in the rest of the remainder. So that's how you limit your risk, and that's how you react to the market. It might still go down. You can see we have a channel that has been going on here. So we might still want to what? To come and just tap into this channel before we actually decide to go this way. That's the market. That's why I said we want to see what happens in this area. But interestingly, what is happening in this area is that it's a weekly. It's an important zone weekly. On the weekly chart, you can see, let me just extend this to this side. You can see it's an important zone. Okay, that's on Euro USD. I think now you get a gist of how I actually approach the markets. Simple. I try to keep everything simple. The next pair that will probably, let me just rush. Now that now we have an idea of how I approach the market, let me just rush in and just give you some of the pairs that I'm going to be looking at also, because I don't want to make this the whole day. The next pair will probably Australian dollar. Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Again, you can see where we are, and it's on the weekly time frame again. We are now at another area where we need a decision to be made. We need a decision to be made in this area. In that area, we need a decision to be made whether Australian dollar is going to continue dripping, or time that we do this. Again, what did I say? It's not a trading signal. So don't enter the markets and come market open, you just rush in and you buy. So Australian dollar is actually in a good zone. Euro USD has kind of moved out of our zone, but we'll be watching it. Australian dollar is kind of like dead on that zone. So what we want to see is what's going to happen. What's going to happen with our Australian dollar versus the dollar? Are we going to continue oozing this way, or are we going to bounce back that way? Simple stuff. Simple stuff. For me, simple stuff. It's just a matter of patiently waiting for a decision to be made in this zone, our zone, so that you don't get caught on the wrong side. Some people just see tripping a little bit here and they immediately rush in and sell their whole account, and lo and behold, it turns back. Or you might see it bounce a bit going this way, and you start buying, and then lo and behold, it goes this way. So this is a zone where you actually need to start looking for those signals, those patterns, those candlesticks patterns, and everything that you use to trade. But we are in a interesting zone on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, we are actually in a very interesting zone. Another pair that I think you need to be looking at is Australian versus Swiss franc. Let me just delete those ones. They are from the previous chart. Again, same deal. We have not really moved away from our zone, but this should be a signal for us to what? To sell Australian Swiss franc. You can see the huge wicks that are there, and we have for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks we have failed to break this zone. There is only one way for us to go. For me, again, disclaimer: enter at your own risk. For me, there is now one way for us to go. We are going to sell Australian Swiss franc, but sorry about that, but enter at your own risk. The market is always ready to throw something to you that you did not expect. So who knows, something might happen and boom, it just spikes and passes that zone. What am I saying? I'm saying don't bet your house on it. But for now, Australian versus Swiss franc, it looks like we are going to go down. Next pair will probably be Swiss franc versus Japanese yen. Again, almost same deal. For 2 weeks now, I love weeks. I love weeks. When we start getting weeks at those zones, and the zones that I'm looking at, if we start getting weeks, for me, that's a sign that there is pressure. There is pressure. When we start getting weeks, that's for me a good signal. That's one of the things that I enjoy looking for. Weeks, candle weeks, shows me that there might be pressure for us to go the other way. So I believe that, let's go back to the weekly. Let's zoom out a bit. You can see that we were previously here around 2014 on Swiss versus Japanese yen, and we're in that zone again. So we might actually be in a good zone to sell this thing. We have waited since around 2014 to come into this zone, and we might again start seeing the Swiss franc versus Japanese yen kind of what, losing momentum. and going this way, whatever way you might think. So that's for Swiss versus Japanese yen. Another pair is probably NZD JPY. Let's see what's happening again. That's what we have there. Still on the weekly, good zone, and we do have some good wicks forming there on the weekly. If we drop down to the daily, there is a chance that we are actually going to go back and tap this and test it again before we actually continue on our merry way down. That's on NZD versus Japanese yen. The last one is probably GBP USD. Let's just see on GBP USD, same deal. That's where we are with GBP USD on the daily. On the daily time frame, that's where we are on GBP USD. We are on a good zone, and what we want to see is probably whether we are just going to tap it again one more time and continue what this way. So those are some of the pairs that I will probably be paying attention to this coming week. You can actually go down, for example, here you can actually drop down to the 4 hourly, or you can drop down to the hourly, whatever rocks your boat. And from there, you can either scalp these things if you are a person who loves to scalp, or if you're just a person who just loves to intraday, you can easily tell where to trade these things. So I hope this video has helped you come up with something, an idea. If you did not have something to trade this coming week, some pairs to look into this coming week. Otherwise, I will leave it here. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Like this video. Until next time, bye.